All right, hi everyone. This is Brian Sa here. Thanks for joining today's webinar. So we'll go ahead and get started. So today we'll be talking about Desk Connect and how to set up your synchronization between Desk and Salesforce. So once again, my name is Brian Sa. I'm the onboarding and training specialist here at Desk.com. And I also have here with me today Amrita. Amrita, do you want to give a brief introduction of yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. This is Amrita. I'm the customer wow specialist within the support team here at Desk.com. I'm going to be talking about Desk Connect today with you guys, and I also help customers with all kind of Desk Connect issues, the enablement, and all kind of questions they have. So welcome to the webinar.
All right, thanks, Amrita. So the majority of our training will be just Amrita talking about Disconnect and also her walking through the actual setup and configuration, both in Desk and in Salesforce. But following that, we will have a short Q&A session. So for the duration of the actual training portion, if you do have questions that pop up, I encourage you guys to type those into the GoToWebinar questions panel, and we'll get those all answered towards the end. And we do have a small group here, so again, feel free to ask any questions that are even specific about your company or any workflows. I encourage you guys to ask those. Also, lastly here, our session is going to be recorded, so if you can't stay with us for the entire time, we will post this training to YouTube. There also you can see a lot of our other how-to videos and also watch some of the other webinars that we've hosted as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Amrita, and she's going to take you through Disconnect.
All right, let's get started. So let's actually start with what is Desk Connect. So Desk Connect is a bidirectional sync between Desk and Salesforce, meaning which cases in Desk get synced with cases in Salesforce, and also the contact and companies get synced with Salesforce from Desk. Also, anything in Salesforce regarding cases, contacts, or accounts gets synced with Desk. So we're going to be talking about account, contact, case, interaction, and reports and dashboards. Like I said, account, contacts, and cases get synced between Desk and Salesforce. Also, case interactions in Desk get synced with activities in Salesforce. And the best thing about Desk Connect is Salesforce gives you the ability to create reports and dashboards off of the Desk.com cases that get synced. So why do we need this Desk Connect feature? Why do we want to connect sales and service? So one of the reasons is for companies that use sales and service and they're using different environments, like for example, if services is using Desk and sales is using Salesforce, and they want to look at the same customers and want to work off the same cases. And how do they do this? They use Desk Connect so that it gives them insight when talking to customers because they can already see the case interactions. It gets customer problems addressed quickly because the sales team can ask the services team to update a case, see that in Salesforce, and then communicate with the customer on time. And then also predict customer issues and be proactive because you're constantly going to be working with the services team and going to be talking about what kind of issues the customers are facing. So basically, you're going to get instantaneous updates about cases into your Salesforce org. How is it useful for services? They can have better conversations with customers, again, for the same reason that they will be getting instantaneous feedback from the sales team on the case, and they can understand the full customer history because they will be able to see what the sales team is doing with those customers, and therefore can be more efficient in a voice will share service. So here are the important things to consider before we go ahead and enable Desk Connect. So things to consider pre-enablement. So you need to have professional edition or above. You need to be on the professional plan or above if you want Desk Connect enabled. In your Salesforce org, you need to have the case priorities set as high, medium, and low so that when you sync with Desk, it's easier for Desk priorities to be mapped together. Your case statuses need to be new, open, pending, and resolved. Your Desk subscription needs to be professional plan or above. And object mapping. Now, object mapping is how you would map the objects in Salesforce to the objects in Desk. So Desk customer is what a Salesforce contact is. What you call a company in Desk is actually a Salesforce account, so it gets mapped to an account, and the Desk case maps to a Salesforce case. And then the last point would be standard case object is visible within layouts. I'm going to show you in the demo later how this is possible. And now we come to post enablement. So the most important thing to remember here is only new and updated records get synced between Desk and Salesforce. So if you create a new case, that gets synced, or if you update cases, those will get synced as well. The sync happens over the standard case object. So your Desk cases sync directly with the standard native case object in Salesforce. Here's something to consider about syncing time. So when you're syncing from Desk to Salesforce, it's almost instantaneous. But when you're syncing from Salesforce to Desk, it could take about 5 minutes. This is something about the standard field mapping. So we have a few fields that are standard and automatically mapped when you enable Desk Connect. And for the case object, those are status, priority, subject, and description. For the contact object, the name, title, phone, and email fields are automatically synced, and the account syncs the account name. We can also use custom field mappings to sync between Desk and Salesforce. Right now, we can sync text, list, checkbox, and date type fields. So text in Salesforce maps to text in Desk. A pick list type field in Salesforce maps to list. A checkbox type field in Salesforce maps to true and false. That's the Boolean field in Desk. And the date types syncs with date in Desk. Case number is not synced by default. It is achievable with custom field mapping, meaning that we can create text type custom fields to be able to map the number of fields. And the best thing is it doesn't count against the Salesforce API limit. All right, so now it's demo time. I'm going to show you guys my Salesforce org and my Desk org and how I'm enabling Desk Connect and what are the things I need to take care of before I start using it. Okay, so if you guys can see my screen, I have two tabs open here. This is my Salesforce tab, and this is my Desk tab. So I'm going to actually start with the Salesforce tab. So you see, this is my Salesforce org, and I am the administrator for this account. So I have access to the setup. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Setup. And like I said in the slides, I'm going to make sure that my priority and status values are correct. So I'm going to look at Customize, and I'm going to look for Cases here and click on Fields. And then I'm going to click on the Status field first, and I'm going to make sure that I have New, Open, Pending, and Resolved. Closed is still a Salesforce field that doesn't map with the Desk field, so you need to keep that in mind. I'm now going to use a closed field for syncing with Desk. Back to case fields. I'm going to show you priority. Priority needs to be high, medium, and low. You can also add custom values, but in that case, you need to have a one-on-one mapping with Desk, and I'm going to show you later when you're into Desk how to do that. So that's about the fields. Now let's go ahead and talk about the layouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the case-related list onto the contact layout. So I click on a contact, I click on my test contact here, and I'm going to click on Edit Layout from the top right corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Related List. This case is a related list with contacts. So Related Lists, and then you see how Cases is grayed out here. So this means that Cases is already a part of my layout. So let me just show you removing it. So if I remove it, it's back here. So there's just the way to include it on the layout is just to drag and drop it under the layout here. And then click Save. And that's it. And then we do the same with accounts. So I click on an account. And I click on my test account here. Make sure that the case is on my layout. And looks like it is. It's grayed out here and it's present over here. So that's how I make sure that I'm able to see my cases. So why do I need this? So basically, if I want to look for cases under a contact or under an account, instead of going under the case object directly here, I can go look for a contact and just find out how many cases I have under this contact. That's what we need it for. So this is pretty much it from the Salesforce end. Now let's go over to the desk end. And since all of you know, your account executive or someone from the support team will be enabling the flag for you in the systems configurations end. After we've done that, all you need to do is click on settings here and click. So the Desk Connect option will be available only after we've turned on the flag on our end. So we click on Desk Connect, and it takes a little bit longer to load. All right, so this is the toggle for the Desk Connect enablement. So this is on right now because I have Desk Connect on and I'm using it. And the first page here is the Company, Customer, and Case tab. Now, since Desk Connect is a bidirectional sync, we have 6 toggles. Salesforce to Desk for Company and Desk to Salesforce for Company. Both of them are turned on. Customer, I have the same thing on for both directions, and Case, the same thing. One thing I want to tell you here is we also have selective sync available. So selective sync basically means if I want to, only sync a few cases that I choose between Desk and Salesforce, I can do that. And the way to do that is create a list type custom field, maybe call it sync to Salesforce. And let me just show you how we can do that. So if I wanted to only sync a few cases between Desk and Salesforce, if those cases existed in Desk, all I need to do is click on this plus sign here, and it takes a little while to load again. And select the sync with SF field. Remember, this is a list type field. It only works with list type fields. And I select a yes, and that's it. So whenever I click on my case, let's go back to the agent here. So this field is actually on my case view as well. So this is the field I want to select. If I say a yes here, that means this case is allowed to sync to Salesforce. So that's with the selective sync. Now let's go to field mappings. All right, so again, we have 3 tabs here for company, customer, and case. And this is all about syncing fields between the 2 orgs. So we have 2 categories here, mappable fields and non-configurable fields. So the mappable fields are the ones that you are able to map, like you're able to edit of your choice. And the non-configurable fields are the fields that you'd have no control on. So those fields will be automatically mapped when Desk Connect is enabled. So for example, let's see cases. So all of these fields that I see on the left-hand side, which are the Salesforce field, I can map them with a custom field in Desk, and I can just select, fields from here. And just remember, string syncs with text, Boolean will sync with a checkbox type, list will sync with the list type. So whatever I've created here will show up in my field mappings drop-down. So, and then these are the non-configurable fields. These get mapped automatically. So see how low is mapped to low, medium is mapped to a 5, and desk and high is mapped to 10. And then these are mapped according. So this needs to be pending. So new, closed and resolved, and pending, resolved, and open. So that's about it from the field mappings end. So if you guys have any questions, I'm ready to answer those at this point.
All right, thanks, Amrita. So as Amrita mentioned, now is the Q&A time. So go ahead and send in your questions here, and we'll get those answered. Before we start with that, I do want to direct you guys to our support center, which is support.desk.com. There you'll be able to find a lot of information, not only on Desk Connect, but a lot of great articles, and also our video support center that has a lot of great content on setting up the rest of your desk site. Also, if you do have specific questions about any use cases, even after this meeting, I encourage you guys to email us at support@desk.com, where we can actually help you on an individual basis. So we'll go ahead and open up this time for the Q&A. Looks like we have one here. Can I sync fields within a custom object sync using Desk Connect?
So currently, we cannot actually use custom objects to sync between fields. You can only use case, contact, and account objects to sync with Desk. If the field exists on one of the case, contact, or account objects, it's a related field, probably then you can use that in Desk Connect, but you cannot directly sync a field from a custom object using Desk Connect.
Okay, great. Next question here. What happens if a customer is created in Desk without an email address?
So basically, Desk functionality is that it needs a email address associated with the customer when it's created. So if you have a customer or a contact in Salesforce without an email address, it's gonna sync, but then it's gonna have no email address in the field in Desk. So it's not a favored scenario. We always want to make sure in Salesforce or in Desk, we always have the email ID in place.
Okay, great. Looks like we have another here. We've been using Desk.com separate from Salesforce for around a month. We've created contacts in both systems. How will that sync up? Will there be duplicate contacts?
That's a very good question. No, there will not be any duplicate contacts. As long as your email address on both the customer and the contact is the same, duplicate contacts will not get created. And one important thing you need to remember is only new or updated contacts will get synced. So if you already had contacts in Desk and Salesforce and you enable Desk Connect, you cannot expect those contacts to sync over instantaneously unless you update them. So only updated contacts will get synced and duplicate contacts will not get created.
Okay, great. What is the purpose of the default rules created within Desk Connect when Desk Connect is first enabled? I'll read that again. What is the purpose of the default rules created within Desk Connect? I'm sorry, created when Desk Connect is first enabled?
The default rules actually are related to the Salesforce integration. With Desk Connect enabled, you do not need any rules as such because whatever cases sync from Salesforce now belong to Desk, so they become Desk cases. So you can create rules as you would, create rules otherwise. You do not need any special setting to create rules for Salesforce cases. The rules we used for integration were used with the old manage package, but with Desk Connect, there's no rules involved.
Okay, great. And looks like we do have one last question again. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to type them in right now. Last question for now, though. Why don't I see any customer or agent interactions in the Salesforce case?
So Salesforce will have the interactions under the activity history, under the case. And if you're talking about agent notes, those notes will get synced with the comment section. So let me actually show you this. So I'm here and I'm under cases, for example. And let me open this case. So if I open this case here, go on to details. My activity history will show me all interactions, whether it's from the customer or it's from the agent. And if I have a test note created, like a note created in Desk, that will actually come under comments. So case comments will have notes and all my interactions will get synced under the activity history. If you don't see it here, feel free to send us an email at support@desk.com. We'll find out why that's happening for you. Maybe you have some other permissions or in some other settings that is not letting the activity history visible on your case layout. So feel free to, just email us.
Okay, great. Looks like we have a few more coming in. Why would I see no mappable fields?
That's a very good question again. So the reason you will not see a no mappable field is because you have not created a custom field for that field in Desk. So for example, if I see a no mapping or a no map, let me actually, so no mappable fields. Now this field is of the type reference. reference, which cannot be created in Desk. So basically, no mappable fields tells you that you're not allowed to sync this field between Salesforce and Desk. And then no mapping actually just tells you that you haven't mapped it. But if it's no mappable fields, that means one, that the type of the field cannot be created in Desk. The other is that this field cannot be mapped between Desk and Salesforce.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. Looks like we have one last question here. Are we allowed to remove the Desk.com logo from our support page?
So yes, you can. You can go into channels and support center and play with the web theme here, from where you can remove the logo for your desk support center. So the code actually resides here. So this is where you want to edit. Our service team and support team is all ready to help you if you wanted you to know, what part of the code you wanted to edit, but this is a place you want to edit your code to change the web logo.
Okay, looks like that was the last question for now. Again, if you guys do have any remaining questions, feel free to email us at support@desk.com, and our support team can definitely help you out with your specific use cases. So I do want to thank you guys for all attending, for taking time out of your day just to learn about Disconnect and to learn how to set that up. I do thank you, Amrita, for joining also, and thank you everyone, and take care.